Hi, my name is Gibson, and I'm the creator of the Personal Development School. This is your daily breakthrough video, and in this video, I'm going to talk to you about 6 key tips for how to compassionately break up with a dismissive avoidant. So, I'm going to be doing a series on this. This is actually based on one of the questions I had from inside of the members lounge at PDS, and a member basically said, "How do you do a classy breakup with a different attachment style?" And I was like, wow, this is such a great question because we never really talk about like tips to doing the breaking up. We do tips to heal from the breakup and move on and all those different things, but we don't talk about or like how to know if you're ready to break up or not, but we don't talk about how to actually compassionately go through the breakup process if you're the one breaking up with somebody else. So I'm going to go through 6 key tips. This will be a series, so you can check it out. You'll see the different attachment styles in here. And before I dive in, if you want to check out the How to Heal from a Breakup course, if you find yourself on the receiving end of anything, we have a 25% off coupon code in the description box below. You can check that out. It's a coupon code to the All Access Membership Pass. It'll also work for like site-wide. It'll be for the All Access membership. So you'll get all the other courses in there, all the social events, all that good stuff. The link is down below. So one of the first things that we need to do if we're going to go through a breakup process is we have to be able to check in and make sure that we feel 100% certain about it. And you may never feel like actually 100% certain, but I think one of the really important principles is when we're doing a breakup, when we want to have a clean breakup and we want to be able to walk away guilt and regret free, we want to give ourselves the opportunity to put all the work in first, as long as, of course, it isn't like a super toxic relationship or there's some kind of abuse or something like that. Obviously, if that's the case, walk away immediately. But if you're just like, having a difficult time communicating and there's just problems and you're on the fence, my advice is set a deadline for yourself relative to how much you're trying to, you want to invest. Like maybe you're at your wit's end. You're like, I'm going to try really hard for 1 week. If nothing changes, I know that that's it. Maybe you're like, we've been on the rocks for a bit, but I've been with this person for 10 years. I'm going to try really hard for 3 months and, see if I can make some changes. And if you get into the position where you invest everything you can to show up for your part, to meet your needs, to express your needs, to communicate clearly, to be compassionate, to listen, to, ask the right questions, all those different things. And then you see nothing is the needle's not moving and the person's not participating in that with you. Then you feel so free. You're like, okay, this is for sure not for me. It's not fair. And you get that really strong sense of closure ahead of time. So my number one tip is always to check in. Give yourself that deadline first, do the work so that in that intermediary space, you can pour yourself into trying to make things work. And then you can get to the point where you're going, this isn't right for me because I know clearly, even with the work, it doesn't change. That allows you to then gain your closure. And this also allows us to bring ourselves to tip number 2, which is be clear about your why first. So know internally when you reach that point, okay, I'm out of this. This isn't working for me. Know why. And this again gives you that sense of closure personally, but this also is how you're going to communicate the breakup sort of like in a finessed kind of way. Like if you understand truly at a deep level why this relationship is not compatible, you can give really clear reasons. And the more specific the reasons are, actually, the more closure you're giving to the other person. So when you can get really clear about your why, it's not working because maybe for you it's a non-negotiable that you're not able to work through problems in a relationship, and you find that you and this person keep not being able to work through problems in the relationship. You've done your best. You're clear that that's not a possibility for you guys at this time, and you have to respect yourself and your non-negotiables and standards, and therefore you must walk away, right? So when you can be really clear about something like that, geez, it sure makes the breakup a lot easier for both people. You get that sense of certainty and clarity and closure. That person can receive that as well, and it gives them the sense of clarity and closure. And a lot of the time when we're doing a breakup with somebody, we care about them. We don't want to hurt their feelings. And the more we can make it easier on the other person at times, without betraying ourselves in any way or going against any of our boundaries, sometimes the lighter we feel when we walk away too. We're like, okay, we ended that on good terms. I feel like we didn't leave off hating each other, and okay, I'm feeling good about this. So we can give that to ourselves by being clear. Number 3, be matter of fact when you're communicating to a DA. Be really clear and articulate. And the more we can use that tone that's just straight to the point, saying, this is what's going on. This is how I feel. It's really unfortunate we got to this point. The more you're actually received, that information is received by the DA. If there's too much emotionality in things, and listen, let's be honest. If you need to be emotional and you're hurt and you're upset, you do you first. Like at the end of the day, like your emotions matter and they should be valued, and that has to be priority. I'm not saying like sit and suppress your emotions, but I am saying in the places where you need to convey those really clear messages, the more matter of fact you can be, the less the DA will shut down, and the less what your message is for that person will fall on deaf ears. And so you'll be more likely to have your words and what you're trying to convey received when you're more matter of fact. But you're a human, and breakups are hard sometimes. They're hard all the time for everybody and for many different reasons. And so if you're emotional here and there, that's okay too. Number 4, equilibrate. And so these are tips for like, if you don't want to feel bad after the breakup, basically, and you want it to go well. So equilibrate, a big core wound DAs have a huge one. And especially when it comes to breakups, is they feel like when they're getting broken up with, I couldn't do it. I couldn't figure it out. Something's wrong with me. And they really have that strong I am defective core wound. So this I am defective core wound, when you can kind of help them equilibrate it ahead of time, that will give you that peace of mind. You don't have to feel bad. And then that person can also, not be giving really painful meaning to the situation, which can hopefully give you that sense of closure as well. So again, you're not responsible for their feelings, but nobody likes to make people they care about feel bad. And the easier we can make the situation, it actually takes sort of weight off of us. So you can say something like, hey, you're an amazing person at your core, but these specific needs weren't being met for me in a relationship. And so I think that's not making us compatible going forward. So see what that shows. You're saying, you're a good person, I value you, or you can pick out 1 or 2 characteristics you value about the person and you like and appreciate, but then say, my needs weren't being met. These are the specific needs. I'm clear. We're not compatible. So it's not saying, hey, you're defective, you couldn't show up, you X, Y, and Z. And that can really, really cause a lot of pain and suffering for that person. Instead, you're saying, our needs were not compatible. It's very, I am defective as a core wound is very much about like me at my core, who I am as a human, versus, my needs weren't being met. Our needs are not compatible. That kind of stuff is like the behaviors we use in a relationship to relate to one another are not a good match. And it's very like off of the person and the human as, deep down at their core. And that can be really helpful. Number 5, decide what boundaries then work best for both of you in order to heal. So then I would take this and say, what are the boundaries we need in order to move ahead, in order to move forward? And you want to get really clear about yours ahead of time. Like, do you need no contact? Do you want to be friends, but not even try to rekindle a friendship for 3 months because you just need that time to reflect? Do you want to maintain a friendship more immediately and like, what do you need to phase out of something? Obviously, it's healthier to not really put yourself in that position, but be, clear about what you need and ask that person and open that dialogue and have those things set out ahead of time so that you don't have to learn those things the hard way and have all these miscommunications after a breakup. And, one person reaches out to text because they just want to see how the other person's doing and they just care about them as a human. And the other person is like, oh, they're trying to be with me, and they don't speak to them at all. Or, you just don't want to have these back and forth things. Maybe you guys won't have the perfect answers for how you're going to feel every step of the way, but just to give as much information and clarity ahead of time will make the process easier. And then number 6, have a clean breakup. What you say you're going to do your best to stick to. Do your best to not get involved in somebody's, life right after. Do your best to really create those boundaries for yourself so you're not like checking the person's social media, all that kind of stuff. Anything we do like that tends to perpetuate the problem. So establish those boundaries for yourself ahead of time so you can feel like the breakup is clean, the loose ends are tied. We're clear about why we broke up. We're clear about why we're not working. I'm clear as a person that I did everything I could and the needle still didn't move. And so I know that this is the right thing. And now I'm going to remove myself from the situation in any way that would cause me more emotional pain or suffering. And that allows you to move towards a solution, allows you to move towards, the relationship to yourself and the next things in life. So hopefully this all makes a lot of sense. I know this is a really big topic, so there's obviously more to this, but it's just 6 key tools. Let me know questions you have down below. Like, I answer a lot of videos. I don't know if you guys realize, but I answer a lot of videos that are also based off of people's questions in the comments. So feel free at any point in time to put stuff in there. I'm constantly looking in there and seeing like what kind of things we can use. So let me know. Thank you so much for being here and for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.